Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 60 of Orchid Bay. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you haven't seen Few Candy's wonderful collaboration last episode, it's on her channel, also on the community tab as well, but she built us Few's fantastic family fun adventure park. And it's a really cool creative use of a whole bunch of park assets. She even ran a little one-way train line here as like a function as a model railway. And the cargo trains actually come down here and end up using it. So it's like functional as well. Incredibly cool repurposing of those little assets. Got a little water feature here as well with kayaks on it. Really cool. There's also the old faithful piggy train over here as well, which really is one of the better assets in the game, isn't it? They really went for that melted thumb model on the pigs, didn't they? But really cool, right? Really fun. Build from FewC, so thanks for the collab FewC, and I also built in Funilla County as well if you haven't seen it. But today's episode, I want to not particularly do a build, but you guys have been asking me forever for a cable car.
This happens like once every 10 years.
Kangaroo shop, kangaroo shop, kangaroo shop, kangaroo shop!
Alright!
So today we're finally going to do them, so we can stop asking me. We will finally have cable cars in the city. And Sharon is filled with garbage and crime, which is quite actually on point, isn't it? I would say it's a purposeful design, but it's not. Oh, is that a stupid intercity train issue again? At the edge of the map it is, isn't it? I absolutely hate this. It's so annoying. It does occasionally clear, and then it comes back again. Just super irritating, but whatever. We need to fix this though. There's a whole bunch of abandonment over here. Yeah, we need to embank this, don't we? We actually had someone suggest we do it. So yeah, we will. We're going to turn this into embankment. Let's start our episode with this then. So we'll bring this up. We might have a little bit of a problem embanking this close to a tile boundary, but we'll wait and see what happens, of course. So let's bring up some elevation. We will start hopefully about here, although this close to the key, I bet we're not gonna terraform very well at all, are we? Okay, that took all of our finagling powers, but it's finally in. So hopefully that train track will start clearing up now. And that definitely clears the way for road traffic to hopefully run a little smoother under that road as well. And we'll have to let a bunch of this industry regrow, because I think these are all historical, aren't they? Yes, they are, which is fine. So a bit of industrial evolution will come back eventually. And everyone else should be fine over here now as well. Cool. Yeah, it's already starting to clear up there now, isn't it? Very nice indeed. So that is finally embanked. Otherwise, let's now turn our attention toward cable cars for the first time in Orchid Bay. So the most requested cable car spot was actually atop Mad Mountain, just to try and encourage a few more people up here. So I think we're going to have one here. We'll have it come up at the start of the park, have it on the mountain, and then bring a secondary stop. Probably at the little bus transport hub over at Wingfour Hills would make the most sense, I think, wouldn't it? Let's go with that. So, to go into the world of cable cars, we're going to grab ourselves this one over here. We want the end of line stop first of all. And, I mean, that's pretty much perfect there, isn't it? It's going to sit pretty much nicely there. So, we're going to have to replace one of these dirt pathways with a dirt road, which is fine. And hopefully we can... oh, no. This is not gonna... no, then again, no, it's working, it's working. Thinking we can just replace the shape that the pathway took with dirt road, and it should hopefully be okay. I don't want dirt road to go all the way to the top. I certainly want this nature reserve pathway to come back down, hook in with the road, so people can now hopefully walk to the top. Because we just found out a couple of episodes ago that no one cares for this view at all. Very sad. Put a lot of effort into planning that and everyone hates it. So now we want the cable car stop here. Okay, just move some trees. That's going to be fine. And then looks like we can get it on a pretty straight run there, don't we? So and I want the cable car stop here. Can we just bring out another pedestrian road here and then have the cable car stop sit on that one? I think that's probably the best solution, isn't it? So we're using bluestone, I think this is it? I'm sure it's bluestone. Now we're going to bring out a bit more dirt road. We will destroy a bit of our design, but it's on a bit of fencing and pathways, okay. And then we'll have the end of line stop here. Got a car parking on the front, but just pretend it's for scooters or something. Because there is no cars here, obviously it's pedestrians and buses. It's going to be interesting actually to see how insane this bus hub gets now, isn't it, with the cable cars in there. So let's go ahead and hook it in. So we'll see how that goes. But that's really cut into the hillside there, hasn't it? It's really cut into it. Which I think I'm okay with. Although we definitely need to terraform around that because it's pretty intense at the moment. Can we soften this out? Is that going to be the best solution here? We do that and then soften around it. Should make it a little more palatable, right? There we go. Those cable cars are scraping along the ground as they go down, aren't they? They really are. Yeah, they're like they're basically scratching the ground as they go. We're going to have to terraform that, I'm afraid. Let's just dig out a little bit of a gully where those cable cars are running along. Make it a little more functional for them. And then soften it out like that. Wonderful. And then at the end of it, we will bring this one hopefully all the way down. No, of course not. Go to there, there, and then there. Fabulous. So there is there any buses coming past this road here? No, there's a tram stop down here though. So let's definitely provide a little pedestrian point here. We could do pedestrian pathway, but I think that's a little over-engineered for this place. We're kind of in the, not country, but sort of green space suburbia over this way, I guess, near the couplet system. Which, by the way, can we just have a little moment to appreciate this gorgeous couplet system that's now come to fruition? Love this bridge that we did. It feels like ages ago, this, doesn't it? That we did all this. Super nice now, though. Really happy with how this turned out. Yes, please, everyone. Very nice. Anyway, dirt pathways. Yep, we'll just have a little simple vanilla one, I think. Just linking people up to here. So that's going to link the trams with the cable car with the buses. So we have a big transport strip opened up right between Wingfour Hills and Two Church now, isn't it? So we'll see indeed just how busy these get. Anyone? Yes, there you go, there's our first cable car passengers. Is anyone going to get off at Mad Mountain though? That's the question, isn't it? Or are you all going across the Wingfour Hills? Maybe now they'll realise it's up here, they'll be like, oh wow. That's actually quite a nice view, isn't it? Maybe we should come up here more often. We'll see. And how's this one doing down here? Yeah, it's already pulling in a few, isn't it? It's not too bad. So let's bring our little path designs back together so it doesn't look like crap. Feed them into there, and then we'll probably have that farm fence as well, just provide a bit of a safety barrier so no one gets off the cable car and then immediately walks off. There we go. A little bush there as well, perhaps. Little roadie. And some long grass. So now we have cable cars in Orchid Bay, which is tremendously exciting. These bus lines are all holding up too. Everyone's happy here, aren't they? It doesn't look like we need any extra capacity on these. So I'm really keen to just watch these and see how they get on. Still no one. Still no one getting off here. You boys alright? There's not a break in the pathway anywhere, is there? Yeah, just 0, 0, 0. Maybe one day someone's going to come up here and enjoy the viewpoint. Hopefully today it'll happen. I'll see it before the series ends, right? Okay, but that is one cable car system now set up. Let's also connect this pathway back into the road as well. A freeform curve, thank you very much. Cool. That'll keep it running, hopefully. Oh, look at that as well. Oh, where do people crossing over from the trams there, aren't they? Could even do a little elevated path here actually up to that layer from the tram stop directly rather than having them cross the road. Guess we'll wait and see then. We'll see how it goes. Oh, can't stop watching the walking porn. So it's the walking porn in Cities 2 is dramatically different. I'm really going to miss Cities 1 scurrying, if you like. I think is the best way to describe it, isn't it? Sims in Cities 2 don't scurry. They kind of drift, I guess, or float. Wouldn't miss our walking point from Orchid Bay. But anyway, the other most requested cable car connection was from the old downtown, well, downtown Haven, Old Haven anyway, which we haven't actually named here, have we? Because we didn't actually have the park over here, so delete that name there, and then we'll have this as downtown Haven over this way. So the second stop was from basically Reese's piece of Orchid Bay or Biffa Gardens, and feeding it into here somehow, so I wonder what the best connection is for that to go down. I guess we could clear out some houses up here, which I think we will do. Get rid of those, that we're going to have to be evacuated or moved for the sake of cable carriage. So we'll have this up here. As then again, do we want to do that? Maybe we could have it from here down on the main road. And feed it right over the mountain and into here. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Let's move the fire station. You can come and live here for the time being. And then let's grab our cable cars again. We'll go for the end of line stop. Now you're going to be okay moving on this angle. All the way over to here, basically. It looks like it will. How are the cable gradients there, if you like? Yeah, some of these need to be elevated up, don't they? Yeah, God, I didn't realise the cables were so terrain destroying. But that looks like it will work, at least, which is the most important thing. So we'll add that in there. Let's also make a bit of a design around this as well. We'll have a bit of commercial in and around it. Bring that pathway to kind of come around the back of it as well. Come back down towards the car park over here. And then we'll grab that cable car connection, and then let's come up the mountain here, and then we'll delete these sections because this is where I want to elevate it up. It doesn't cut into the mountain as ridiculously as it is. So let's have it run across the valley like that, and then it can hook back in hopefully here without any issue. How does that look? Pretty cool, actually, I have to admit. Really like that. It's a bit of infrastructure I very rarely see in Cities Skylines, so I think I'm just appreciative of a new aesthetic, you know. Pretty cute, isn't it? There we go, going up here now. Fabulous. Terrifying ride that is. They'll get fantastic views of Old Haven from up here though. Lighthouse, all the boats out in the marina. Wonder if we just actually want to redraw that connection in there. There we go, make it a bit straighter hopefully. Cool, so hopefully we'll see people arriving here now. I'd love to make sure it's just interconnected with bus activity or some other sort of transport, for which I think will bring the bus that leaves Old Haven outside of the cable car stop, and that way it can just converge with it a little easier, and we'll leave that other one stopping on the main road, and hopefully it'll still get a fair bit of use. We have that here like that. Yeah, okay, yeah, happy with these assets as well. That's historical though, is why they're in. Wonderful. How's this bus line doing as well, actually? Yeah, pretty decent. There's plenty of room on there. Okay, we're already 28 through that one, and people using this one too. There's a bus there, isn't there? So where are you going? Oh, there you go. It already has a stop outside actually, which is perfect. Fabulous news. Is it worth actually if we got the bus only comes down one way here, doesn't it? It is not a mirrored line because the other one runs into downtown from here. I would say maybe upgrade this into a bus lane, but there's no point if it's not a mirrored line because the other side won't end up getting use. I think it's fine as it is. Cool, there we go. So that's the second cable car stop setup. And I think the other one people wanted as well was over by the zoo to the transport hub as well, because there's definitely an opportunity for that one. How are you doing? 232 already. Tell you what, this is an amazing form of public transport, you know. Stops are pretty small and easy to get in. The lines, you can draw them on, are super flexible and go over insane terrain. and you don't even need to draw the line in, they just flow by themselves. I think we're all secretly sleeping on this best form of public transport, aren't we? Never seen that advert before, is that a new one? Is that gnomes on furniture? Is that what that's supposed to mean? Not sure. Let me know if you do know that one. But yes, another one was over here. So we could have one flowing from here, but I think that's a little ridiculous to have it just over the highway. Probably a pathway would serve that better. But definitely a connection from this space here down toward this transport hub in some sort of capacity down toward the stadium. That would be another good shout for a cable car, I think. Why don't we see if we can factor that in as well. These are all, yeah, 4 deep car parks here, aren't they? So where would be the best spot to accommodate an end-of-line cable car stop for you? We just have one here. What sort of trajectory do you take? Down toward this way. Now I'd be happy to move the gym from the campus area a little bit. Let's go into our campus areas. I wouldn't mind just pushing this up into this space over here, because of course it is a campus asset, isn't it? So it can basically be on a pathway anyway. I think that's possibly going to be a better angle for it, isn't it? There's actually going to be a simple hook through. Yes, it is. Absolutely delicious. So again, just to make sure it's not getting into too much terrain, making it horrible and obvious. A bit of softening and level seem to fix that if you're looking to play with cable cars, although again we're sort of dragging them along the ground a little bit, and the coyotes are fleeing in fear of the new cable cars. It's a horrendous example of deforestation there, isn't it? Habitat destruction. I think there's a message for us all there. But yeah, they will drag their arse along the ground, I think, until they get a little bit further over the valley. And there isn't a bus line coming out this side of the hub, is there? Oh no, there is actually, there is. And it also comes back in here, so that's the one that's actually coming down from the zoo itself. We'll see if it gets used. I imagine it will. While we're over here, actually, we forgot to put elementary schools in the Bait Plateau last time out, so we need to do that while we're here as well. So let's have this on the main street here as we come in. I have a small elementary school. And I think for high school, I think they're going to have to commute into Sharon for that. I think they're going to have to take the train. I don't think I want a high school in this town. Yeah, so that'll be fine. How is Sharon doing now? Is it cleared up a little bit? Yeah, all that train traffic's gone now, hasn't it? Hopefully that embankment's helping it a little. Do just have enough room there as well. There will be a poll on the channel as well shortly. For those wanting to vote on whether or not Orchid Bay enters an 81 tile build. Which will keep it going for a considerable amount of time more, I imagine. Yeah, because there's significant spaces to fill over here, but we'll have a lot of fun with these windy rivers, won't we? Lots more towns to be had. And probably another major metropolitan centre. Not entirely sure where though. Maybe over this side around this highway. Maybe over here around these rivers. But we could certainly extend a lot of the shoreline design around here. Get a very kind of Chicago vibe here, right, with the lake. A kind of lake drive. Heading all the way along this way. Even though this is the ocean. But anyway, I digress. So you'll think of what to do in today's episode. Alongside our cable car stuff, which... have a little check in. 320. Jinky is everyone. Anyone got it for this one? No. Not a single person. Why? Why wouldn't they use it? And then this one? 302. Absolutely delicious. And a new walking pawn spot opened up as well. So anyway, distracted again. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to do was sightseeing buses, because a little conversation with Brassack in the Discord this morning, which is linked down below, by the way. If you want to come and hang out with us in Discord, please do. I always forget these things exist. It turns out there's a lot of hotspots all over Orchid Bay, actually, where people like a driving tour. The zoo, for example, the mall and the stadium area, the power plant for some reason, and specifically the airport car park. I don't know why. I guess because the game would read them as parks, isn't it? But of course, one of Orchid Bay's most famous attractions is the car park at the regional airport. People can't get enough of it. But there's plenty of spaces, loads of hotspots all over Orchid Bay for tours, isn't there? So let's go ahead and throw down this sightseeing bus depot. Can we just factor this into one of our industrial areas? Probably the one over at Sharon, actually. Yeah, we'll just have this here. It's actually quite a nice industrial asset, this one. Really need to remember to use them more. But either way, let's now do a couple of sightseeing tours. So I guess it's going to make sense to keep them regional, isn't it? So why don't we start over here with Fuse Fantastic Family Fun Adventure Park, which is getting a lot of traffic. So this dirt road isn't actually connected into the road network, is it? It's hooked in via pedestrian pathways for which my pedestrian buses will not go down. Oh, my sightseeing tours, sorry. So, I don't really want to mess with Fuse build. I guess we can have... We'll just have them stop here, because this is a bus-only road, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So we'll start here, and then they can meander around Fuse Park. We'll give them a stop over by Katka Cabins and Camping, so they can enjoy this space over here. This will then loop them up to Eggs and Legs Wildlife Sanctuary, where they can enjoy the sights and sounds around there. And do you really want you to stop by? No, it's only tennis courts. No one wants to go see tennis courts, do they? That would be a terrible tour. And then just come back on yourself and mimic there, I think. I think that's what I want to do. So we can also change the ticket price on this as well. So can we wang that up to 50? Very expensive tour, isn't it? So let's keep it at 30, and we'll do a more expensive one maybe in the downtown area. Oh, then again, we've also got walking tours, haven't we? So I guess we could have the walking tour begin in Fuse Park. Yeah, let's have them stop around here. For some reason it's making the park assets happy. I have very little understanding of these walking tours just because I just never use them. But I'm sure the Sims will enjoy them at least. Can we have one over here? And then complete the line? Does that make you all happy? There's no indicating that the walking tour is there, is there? But it's okay, I guess. And there's the sightseeing sign as well. Which in itself is a very nice aesthetic outside of a park area, isn't it? It has to be said. I do enjoy that. There's buses over here as well. Park is nuts. There's one thing I wanted to do. I did ask you to not allow intercity trains here, which is what we're going to turn off. But we'll just allow the Sharon line to come through here. We don't want intercity trains coming down this line. So that probably will quieten down the buses, which is okay. And there is one of the sightseeing buses now with just the one person on it, which is fine. It's fine. Okay, so let's do another one here. We've got Michael's More One Sport, so we can feed one down here, I guess, get them to stop at the airport car park and then come back. Seems like another good loop. So, where do we want you? Let's start outside the stadium. You can come outside of the mall. Up over here again. Kind of feel weird taking a sightseeing tour into the power plant. But whatever, maybe it's a big historical power plant or something. Maybe Orchid Bay's Chernobyl plant, maybe something kind of historical happened there. We'll bring this, it's a little bit attractive over this way, why not? And since they're all absolutely obsessed with it, we will also allow them to stop over at the airport car parks for some reason. And then just mimic them as they come back in. You're going to take the highway there? No, I don't want you taking the highway. Yeah, come back this way and we'll just mirror the stops going down this side. And then that will complete another sightseeing tour outside of the stadium, which is good. That's going to be fantastic. So we'll have a look at how many people are using these come the end. So we've got the Do You Find It Funny park over here with Orchid. and the library centres are all huge hotspots, aren't they? Why is the train station so hot and spicy here? Is that because, it's probably because it's a pedestrian area, isn't it, I think? That's probably why it's got so much purple attraction on it. So I'm pretty sure it's tied into land value, isn't it? Okay then, so where could we have one here? We've not got bus lane stopping here, have we? There is one bus that stops here, I believe. Yes, there is. It's a black line there. Okay, so we'll have sightseeing tour come through this way. Now, what's your route to get onto this side here? I'll do that then. And then again, stop by the car parks of the cargo hub, which I'm sure is a tremendously active, fun thing to see. You okay here? Just got a bit of busyness with the traffic here. Yeah, we do, don't you? Where are you trying to go? You're trying to get back to the highway, aren't you? You know what, I think now in hindsight that's not a connection actually that we want to provide. If you want to get back on the highway, then come down here, because that connection is available for you. I'm guessing that's where they're all going, isn't it? Yeah, we'll have to round this off with something else, I think. Keep it like that. And these cargo trains are dispersing slowly anyway. Cool, so let's drag this now. Stop by Do You Find It Funny? And by the park. By the baseball park. And then finally complete your loop down and into there. It's actually going to make use of that bus only road there as well, isn't it? Which I'm always happy for this to get a bit more use. Nice little system, that one. Cool, so that works. Yeah, that's going to flow around quite nicely, I think. Most certainly downtown should certainly have a sightseeing tour, shouldn't it? And guess how far can we move back here? Look at that. the nice bit of Sharon is the only thing people want to see in it. That's so funny. It's called the nice bit of Sharon for a reason, isn't it? And Karen has a very little attractiveness around here. So, well, Karen Town Centre does, I guess, but that's because of the unique building, isn't it? But because Karen Town Centre is so attractive, why don't we have a sightseeing tour start from here? And then essentially just run it right down the central arterial, stopping at all the points of interest along the way. Transport hub over here. All this stuff. Really perfect. Right through the middle of the city centre. What happened to my disaster memorial? Where have you gone? I think I know. I'm pretty sure that Imperator doesn't play with the Natural Disasters DLC. When he loaded in, all of my natural disaster assets disappeared. So let's bring this down. And how would you loop around? You would go through Brickwind and Keys over here, wouldn't you? Loop around that side then, because you can hit the stadium that's in there. Or the park area, rather. And then just come back down the main street, I think, mirroring your stops all the way here. Fabulous. So, yeah, I was having a bit of a conversation with Brassack in the Discord, as I was saying, to see if you could essentially replace your bus lines with sightseeing tours and charge them 30 quid for the privilege. But I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to wait and see. So, let's have a look. One's got the most passengers. Currently sightseeing bus number 1, which is over by Fuse Park, isn't it? So, if we whack the ticket price up, does that have an impact on us? Yeah, I guess we're going to wait and see. I guess we need to wait for the AI to tick over here, don't we? Wait for the buses to stagger out, etc. But this is nuts, isn't it? Got those people in sun hats sat here waiting for this. I really don't want to upgrade the vehicle here, because it's supposed to be a small little minibus for a reason. But it's getting very, very busy. So I guess we'll wait and see. So I guess what I could do to actually test out my experiment here would be to have this sightseeing bus run back to the same place that this minibus is going to, which I believe is going to the intercity bus terminal in Sharon, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay then, so let's do that. Let's grab that sightseeing bus. And we'll add another stop. Can I actually drag it into the bus station? No, I can't. That's fine though. Which way are you coming here? Why are you going that way? Okay, well let's drag the existing stop up this way. Why are you coming down this way? That's so far for you to go. Oh, I guess because you're actually coming down here, aren't you? I mean, I guess that's okay. Is there anywhere else it would like to stop? Yeah, I guess it can stop here then. On the way into Sharon. I can't have you stop there though, because the trolley buses are there, aren't they? And that's a bridge, so we can't stop here actually. Yeah, and then there's bus stops here, isn't there? So no, it can't. This is the answer to that. But you can stop here though, so you might as well do that. And then we'll move this stop over to. Actually, just delete that one, and then we'll have it come into the transport hub here. Not sure where though. Like, no, it doesn't really need to, does it? As long as it stops near that minibus, which is this one over here, then I guess it's going to be an experiment to see if a sightseeing bus depot here, with all its little pamphlets and stuff, will indeed siphon any traffic off of the minibus. We'll have to wait and see, but we'll let the simulation run for a little bit, and then we'll be right back with some bus science reports, hopefully. So I think with this one over here, I did add in a little pedestrian crossing here, but I think it's just going to make a lot more sense to actually have the cable car stop kind of this side of the road, right, to stop all the pedestrian crossings here, because it is causing a little bit of a backup, so not massively happy with it. So let's just rework what is actually going on here. Let's remove a bit of our airport apronage. So let's grab a road. And pedestrian road should be fine for this actually. We'll have it directly outside of the park gate again, because that's going to help them cross into it. And then we essentially just want to move it over here. This is the more sensible option, isn't it? There we go. I've also done a little bit of forest, sort of, well, deforestation here, and a bit of fencing as well. I think I'd also like to slope here too. Go from there. So those cable cars aren't as close to the ground. There we go. Cool. You do want a pedestrian area though, don't you? Which we don't have one nearby. No, in which case I'm not going to have that as pedestrian road then, because I'm not putting a service point in just for that. It's a waste of money. We'll just have a regular pedestrian road. And it looks like that's going to be a perfect moment for a couple more car parks, isn't it? To complete that car parking pattern. I think we'll just complete the design over here with some trees as well. So simulation's been running for a little bit now. Obviously this one's going to have 0. But this one over here is about 40. So was the one from Reese's piece of Orchid Bay up to, well, that's 144 now actually. Over to Old Haven, over this way, it was 68 on that one. And then the one from Two Church to Wingfour Hills is now 332. There are a lot of people coming out here. I feel like maybe going forward in Orchid Bay, still no. Oh no, yes, there we go. Absolutely wonderful. Stephanie Mason, a child, is the first person to visit this viewpoint. Let's enjoy the ascent together, shall we? Oh no, she's not the first. Someone's already on the way back down. Oh, well, let's pretend that Stephanie is the first, right? She's on her way up, finally. But yes, what I was saying, I think definitely I'd love to build a town based around cable car transport. And rather than having a main bus line, maybe, you know, building the design in the town around the cable car line, I think could lead to some really interesting designs, couldn't it? I'd definitely be interested in experimenting with that, I think. So anyway, let's enjoy the very dramatic approach. You almost want to play the Jurassic Park theme tune here, don't you? You know, as they kind of come into view of all the dinosaurs. Kind of what I want to play here. I might add that into the edit. We'll see if it works well enough. Don't want to get copyright strited by Steven Spielberg. She didn't even go to the bloody viewpoint. She just incinerated herself into the fire. Maybe the view's just too much to handle. It blows them away and the light can't take it. But there it is. Anyway, so let's have a look at our sightseeing bus people. See how they're getting on. So the walking tours aren't particularly busy. Again, I think this is why I always forget about them, because when I do use them, it's never massively effective. And there's a few passengers knocking around on sightseeing bus line number 1, which is this one that goes right into the heart of downtown. So it comes up here and just runs right down this road now. Stops over here as well, doesn't it, I think? But there's not an enormous amount of people using it, despite the fact that it's running through some incredibly purple areas. How's that one over at Sharon getting on? I can't imagine people are too keen on exploring the sights and sounds of Sharon, which I imagine are limited to knife crime and the smell of fish. Yeah, anyone getting off? 2 people, 2 getting on. But still nowhere near as much as the minibus though, is it? This line's a lot busier. It doesn't seem to have siphoned off any pressure off of it either. How about we go check back outside Few Seas build? Yeah, so both of these lines here are heading in the same direction. The minibus and the sightseeing bus at this point both go to Katka cabins. So my science experiment has proven that you can't really replace your bus lines with sightseeing tours, because they just prefer the regular buses over the sightseeing ones. Or maybe that's because the regular bus is there. Who knows? Let me know if you've had any different experiences with the sightseeing buses, but it is nice to have them around Orchid Bay. We'll continue to add them in as we continue to build out the city as we go forward. And we are getting quite a lot of pedestrians crossing over this couplet system as well, which I'm not enormously happy about. So added in a little elevated pathway system over here to help people cross back and to, which hopefully the AI will prefer. I'm pretty sure they will. Especially if we encourage them down toward this space. Let's actually redraw this one on an angle. Make sure we touch the earth. Bring that one up to there maybe. See if that helps them go. I guess we could just entirely delete this one as well, couldn't we? That would probably help it as well. Because I think it's just too many people crossing. And I don't think we want to extend it any further into the suburb, we'll just have it over the couplet like this. Although in a strange turn of events, they're still crossing around to turn left to cross back over to get to the elevated pathway. I swear to God, these sims live to just wind me up. But it's taking pressure off of that pedestrian crossing at least. And we also get some elevated porn in return. Not a bad deal that at all, is it? And what I would like to do here as well, actually, if I remember rightly, part of our design philosophy for this couplet system was to have a pedestrian road every time we have the tram stop. So I think we'll do that there as well. It's nice to have the bollards there, isn't it? A bit more infrastructure in our couplet system is always appreciated. Still enjoy that one. How is this tram line doing actually while we're here? I've not reviewed this one for an infinite amount of time, I think. Yep, doing alright. It's not overly busy. Keeps everyone moving though, doesn't it? So before we wrap up today's episode, you guys hopefully remember the Atom Wolf from when we built the Falco's Atoms and More. It was the atomic wolf, right, that was involved in an accident. Well, Beautiful Nomis Towns made us that artwork, but artwork's now gone a step further. And we have a billboard for the Atom Wolf poster. So let's get this in the sunlight. I imagine it's going to probably work best over by the Schroeds Media Park, isn't it? If it's some sort of movie poster advertisement here. But let's get it down. We will place a few of these across the city. We'll have a little look at it. Oh, there we go. So we've got Atom Wolf. Something lives in the river of Sharon. Coming to a cinema nowhere near, nowhere near you. If Universal Studios presents an Overcharged Productions, Overcharged Atom Wolf for Hans Zimmer, apparently composed a soundtrack, amazing. That's really cool. Got Rick Carter, Roger Deakins, Christopher Nolan, Zack Schneider, isn't it as well? Karen King, Sharon McIntosh, Overcharged Egg, and produced by Nomis Towns. So big shout out to Nomis for an incredibly cool movie poster. Brought the Atom Wolf to life. We've got the little nuclear silo here as well, the cooling tower. The plant is really cool, really great poster. Nomis, thank you for that, mate. We will definitely have a few of these around the town alongside Scope's Welcome to Orchid Bay billboards. Big ups for that, really appreciate it, buddy. Otherwise guys, that is going to do it for today. Let's thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, likes, comments and shares below really do help me out. If you haven't enjoyed it, please feel free to leave me a dislike as well. I'm a real big fan of how the cable cars have turned out today, and I'd love to design a town that is entirely focused around cable cars. I think they're a really underrated method of public transport. So easy to use, they'll go across any terrain that you want, and they're essentially unlimited capacity because there's just loads of cars coming in and out. You never get in that backlog, you know, like you do with the bus line of people waiting at a stop. So I think they're really quite slept on as a form of public transport and quite underutilised, especially in my designs. Let me know your experience of them as well. I'll leave some cinematics of today's walking pawn and new spices around the general Orchid Bay. But thanks for 60 episodes. Glad you guys are still enjoying this series so much after all of those videos. And will we do another 60 more? Maybe. Depends if we open 81 tiles or not. Don't forget, our next part of New Friendwood for our City Skylines 2 Early Access is out this Wednesday the 27th. If you're watching it after the fact, then do go ahead and check it out on the channel. Looking forward to showing you more of our first ever City Skylines 2 build. Hope you're enjoying that as well. Otherwise, do enjoy those cinematics, but I'll shut up and leave it there. Let's thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.